run the delusion calculator test and see what percent of American men are eligible for you, Michelle. Okay, you ready for this? I love it.
Oh, I saw you do this.
Yeah.
So the other girl.
This episode of the Modern Success Podcast, I brought in my friend Michelle Transforms, a health and nutrition expert, to show us what women are actually attracted to physically, but also telling us the intricacies of dating in places like Miami, LA, and big cities around. Check it out.
You were divorced? Is that right?
The tattoo, yeah.
It was a divorce tattoo?
It's a Maya Angelou poem. Basically, it's called Still I Rise, and it basically is like talking about like anybody that ever doubted her, you know? It's just like rising from the ashes type of thing. But it's just a really cool poem. Like it gets a little sexy, it gets a little bold. I really like it.
I love that. One of my favorite trips I've ever had, it's in Vegas. We, like bachelorette parties are common. We went on my buddy's divorce party. And he literally would go up to people and just be like, I'm recently divorced. And I feel like divorce isn't celebrated enough. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I'm serious. I think it's like Louis C.K. used to say, like, he's like, divorce is a good thing. He goes, marriage is for as long as you can hack it. Divorce is forever. So I think that's like, I'm 39 and I've never been married. And I feel like I would do better if I was divorced. In like the dating scene.
Oh, it would make we've been through that. It would make way more sense with being 39 and unmarried. It'd be way better to say you're a divorcee.
Like you'd be, I think a guy of my age, would you be like more inclined to be like, okay, he's a good candidate if he was divorced or never married at like basically 40?
Yeah.
That is a good question. So us as married / divorced people, we talk a lot about starter marriages.
Nice.
Love that.
Wow.
Love that.
I will say, like, for me, divorce has been really good to me. I have 2 kids. I have a great relationship with their dad. We are far better divorced than we were married. We just got together really young, and, you know, we didn't know what we were doing.
It's crazy how that happens. People end up so much better with their partners after they divorce. Like I feel like that's
you need a trial run.
There was another comedian that said 0 happy marriages have ended in divorce.
That's Louis C.K.
Yeah,
That's Louis C.K.
That's Louis C.K. Yeah.
It's true. So I think, first of all, if somebody's married and divorced, that means, I don't want to say it means nothing to me. Like, it doesn't mean anything negative to me. Obviously, I am one, but I do feel like I'm starting from experience this time because I've been married. I did that for 11 years. And I know with that, like, living arrangement and commitment and combining finances, like, I've done all that. I know what not to do. And I think I've done enough therapy to have a good idea on what to do.
On Albert's point, so as a woman, if you see, let's say you're single, you see a guy who's in his late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah,
and
you see this guy
mainly.
this racially ambiguous human, and he's approaching 40. Would you prefer it if he had been divorced
or never married?
Or suspicious if he's never been married?
Because we have our theory.
You know what? Honestly, it wouldn't matter to me either way, because if you've been married and divorced, you're starting from experience, you know. But if you've never been married, it could just be because you're very cautious about, you know, getting into such a commitment. You know, I know for myself, I was very young when I got married. And if I knew then what I know now, I would not have done that, you know? So it really is no knock either way.
I like it as a guy when you've been divorced because it shows you at one point you were able to commit versus this like born to be a bachelor kind of guy.
Yeah, we knew when Jared got married the first time that his divorce was really going to help him.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I did it. I got to get it out of the way.
We were at his wedding like, dude, I can't wait till this divorce happens because he's going to be so much better.
It's like batting practice for baseball. He's like, I just got to get through this.
Yeah.
It's going to really help me for the game.
I knew in my 40s this would add to my resume. Like, I'm not going to like sit here undivorced like these two idiots. Like, no.
I actually respect it because we had it in like a time of the year where there wasn't a lot going on, and Jarrett was like, there's a lull. Let's have a nice big party. What can we do? I'm going to get married.
Yeah, they walked down the aisle, got married, and on the way back to like divorce, right? And then basically it was over. That was like that was the duration.
Michelle
of that
gets me. All right, we were young and dumb. We had to get out of our system.
You were 36 years old.
Okay, well,
no, you were like 34. Yeah, I think that for me, I'm approaching 39, or I'm approaching 40, so I feel like that pressure. Did you feel like when you got out of your divorce, like it was like I got to rush now to like play catch up in life, or did you feel like you had a clean slate?
No, well, the place that I was at when I got divorced, I was like killing it in life. You know what I mean? Like I got divorced. I left that relationship like not asking for any money, no child support, no nothing. I just was like, I just want to have a good relationship with you. That's it. So and then I went and like bought a house. My businesses were thriving. So to me, it was like clean slate. I just felt like this was like the best thing for me. It was what I needed to do. Just be independent, raise my kids. There was not really a lot of baggage to clean up.
And you're in the fitness space, is that correct?
What's that?
You're in the fitness space, is that right?
Yeah. So I'm a health coach. I help people with weight loss, primarily around nutrition. Like I'm a very like fit person. You know what I mean? Like I train, I do pull, but I'm not a certified personal trainer.
Gotcha. I think a question I get a lot. So Jared and I teach, cold approach, social circle, all these different things. One of the most common ones that I get that I think is like the only one that literally stumps me is how do I approach a girl at a gym and like start a conversation? To me, it's like
unbelievable.
That and like something we call moving sets is like the hardest of the most difficult. Do you have any feedback from your standpoint?
Give us the best way to meet a girl at the gym.
What are plausible ways, or if not, what are bad ways to do
I've tried dropping weights on them. It just doesn't work.
I know it's a heavy topic.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I mean, maybe like be real casual about it. Like, hey, are you using this, or do you have a couple sets left? And then and then we'll say yes or no. And then to say like, hey, like, your form looks great, or like you're killing it. I've seen your progress, blah, blah, blah. And then just kind of like get into the conversation like that.
But you're missing one barrier, Michelle.
What's that?
Headphones. They've got headphones on. So you literally have to get them to take their headphone out and bother their whole work.
The headphones is not as bad as you think. All you got to do is one little like, excuse me, boom, they pop it off. I've done it with girls jogging. I've done it with girls. I don't like to approach girls at the gym so much, but like in the daytime.
Jogging? You've got girls are jogging.
Yes. And
you just start running next to them?
Straight up, this is my approach. There's a girl jogging in Central Park.
He goes, I did an open field tackle.
No. He carries one of those construction tines. He goes slow.
He's like,
well, here's my open. You actually like this one.
He puts a barrier up.
She's running. She got the headphones on. I start jogging next to her, and I go, excuse me. I'm like all like out of breath and like winded, like playfully, right? And she goes, stops, and I go, I just saw your cute. I had to come say hi. And then boom,
that reminds me. I did one at the wharf recently where those like at the airport, it's like to create lines. It's like I don't even know how to. It's like a pole and like you can align like a belt. You know what I'm talking about? When they make like, I would just wrap a girl around that. I'd be like, oh sorry, wait. I'm like, hold on, we're moving this, and I'd create like a little square around her.
You just really lasso her.
I would literally create like a little bin, and then I'm like,
as a serious gym goer though, like I have a problem interrupting somebody's set like that though. I have a problem getting somebody to take their headphone out.
But she's giving you the okay.
I have a solution. I feel like as gym goers, there's a way to kind of like, let's say you want to find out like how many more sets they have on this machine. There's a way to kind of be like, excuse, we're signing it, excuse me, like, hey, how many more sets do you have? Or like something like that. Because then it doesn't look like you're trying to strike up a conversation. Because I'll be completely honest with you, I strongly dislike being interrupted to have a conversation at the gym. Like, I don't like it. But if it's a quick little thing or like, are you using that 45? Something like that, I'm like happy to answer, And then if they lead in with like a little compliment, like, by the way, like I've been seeing you work out, you look great, or, you're really killing it, something like that. Then I'm like, oh, thanks, And then I kind of think like maybe that's just where it needs to be like left in that moment because I may or may not be attracted to that person initially. You know what I mean? So maybe just kind of nurturing it at that point.
Call that a pre-open.
Or they can just go in for it, but I don't feel like I want to be put on the spot quite like that, like.
I also think there's like two types of girls at the gym. There's the ones that have like the low hat, the headphones, no eye contact. Like they're like, I don't want to talk to someone. And then there's the girls that are like super flashy, matching outfit, like makeup
on.
Like those are the girls that I feel like want to get approached.
Is that true? If you got makeup on in the gym as a girl, you're looking to be approached, you wouldn't mind it, or it had not anything to do with it?
Well, I don't wear makeup to the gym. I'm like,
you don't want to be approached. Right?
I love that.
But you also don't want to be approached. If a woman's wearing full makeup and trying to look hot at the gym,
oh yes,
she's open to it then.
I think so. I can't imagine why else you would want to clog your pores.
I feel like everybody, like even what we're discussing right now, to me, it just seems so serious. Like the most fun I have cold approaching is when I do like role play fun stuff. I don't think anyone's doing fun things at the gym. Like it's so literal and serious. Like I literally, as I were talking about this, I'm like, what if I asked her to spot me at a bench press and I just have like 2.5s? And I'm like, can you spot like something silly? I don't think anyone's doing silly stuff. Like Brandon had an idea a while back of like bringing like a whiteboard.
I wanted to have a whiteboard and like communicate with girls across the gym with a whiteboard and be like, hi, how are you? And like just show it to them so that you can keep going with like the sign language type of thing.
Yeah. Be like,
That's
5 more. You can do it.
It's the setting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just have a serious problem just interrupting. And I feel like when I do the sign language type stuff, like back in the day, I would be like, hey, how many sets do you have left? I get met with sign language. It's like 4 sets. And then there's just no interaction.
I like it on the way out. I just wait for a girl to be done. She's done with her workout.
Yeah.
It's over. You're not interrupting shit. On the way out, I would say something like, just so you know, I'm going to have to report you to management. And she's going to be like, for what? Why? What'd I do? Like, you're making all of us look bad, all right? I hate to tell you.
That is a good one.
Then I'm going to laugh. She'll chuckle, whatever.
So you're just going to stand by the door the whole time?
Yeah. That's
He's
my,
like,
I post them by the door.
He's like, I got it. I'll hide in her back seat.
Yeah.
Pop up when she
No,
gets in her car.
okay, but if you're
It's like, what if I pretend to be one of the janitors? I'm going to constantly be mopping.
If you're serious about doing it, you can go to the juice bar, you can get a smoothie, you can post up shop, you can talk with the staff there, get to know the other.
He's like, I got bottle service. We got all sorts of smoothies over here.
Get your vortex going. Like if you're but again, I think there's so many places to meet women. Why do you have to do it in a creepy like why I don't approach women at the gym, I don't approach women at a parking lot. I'm not approaching like there's so many places to go. Why are we like in the middle of a yoga session? I should stop the flow to be like, just so you know, you're downward dog.
I think a lot of guys want to approach girls at a venue where they have a commonality. So guys who like to go to the gym want to approach girls that go to the gym. And instead of guessing if they go to the gym, you know, because they're at the gym. Instead of guys guessing if girls do yoga, they want to approach at yoga.
Then they should do an interactive fitness thing. I don't know if CrossFit may be that or like one of my
patty kicks coming back.
One of my
really
students,
eye contact.
One of my students built up a whole container event thing around acro yoga, and I thought it was genius.
In a container.
I've done acro yoga. It's amazing.
One of my students took my teachings and I'm teaching guys like how to bring out like 8 women with you to a nightclub. He's like, I don't like nightclubs. I'm like, well, what do you like? He brought up acro yoga. Now he's getting, I think, like 30 something women to come out to his acro yoga event and like 6 or 8 dudes. And like that is interactive. You're talking, you're like, is this okay? I'm holding you.
No, that's a good
And
idea.
you're like touching each other.
Yes.
Like doing all this like crazy stuff.
So that makes sense.
No, that 100% makes sense.
But like, if you're like, oh, I need a girl that works out and goes to the gym, they should have like gyms. So honestly, maybe talk to the gym owner, but like, hey, we're having a party event for the gym goers. We're having a whatever that we're throwing.
Well, pizza and beer doesn't mix well with the gym atmosphere, I think is the whole issue.
Just some sort of mixer, really.
Mixer.
No, it's not a terrible idea.
Kaling juice, whatever you fucking gym people want to do. I don't know.
I got it.
I'll tell you guys something funny though on this topic. My ex-husband and father of my 2 kids I met at the gym.
Hey.
All right, so what did he do?
Yeah.
What was the move?
Well, so he actually was a trainer there, and I worked at the front desk while I was in college. So
He was also my coworker.
Yeah.
Social circle.
Yeah.
that's an easy. Now that is an easy market. People that work together at the gym, like everybody's hooking.
Now I gotta get a second job. Jeez.
Yeah. Just no. So I found a stat, by the way, on the gym stuff that might make you cry, or I want to know what you feel about this. I don't believe in this.
Sure.
I am the stats guy, but even I'm like, this is stupid. Apparently, according to the Daily Post or Daily UK or something, 70% of women prefer the dad bod. Where are you at with the whole?
I don't. No.
And I've been around enough attractive women and seen the guys they go for and are hooking up with to know that this is bullshit. But yeah.
Well, here's the thing, but we're also fit, active people. You know what I mean? Like for me, I feel like I work very hard. I'm no model or anything, you know what I mean? But like health and fitness is very important to me. I go to the gym, I work out often, and I take it very seriously. I don't see myself as somebody who doesn't value health and fitness. Not only that, like I'm a I'm like a thick girl, you know what I mean? Like I'm 5'8", like I'm not a like tiny little like thing, you know what I mean? So like soft and fluffy, like it doesn't appeal to me.
You don't want a guy that you can like take down in a headlock, basically.
Basically.
I think girls go for the nice bod and they settle for the dad bod.
Okay, this is my theory on it. They are doing these stats with all women. I want them to do stats with women like Michelle, like fit women, attractive,
active,
high value,
fit women,
Yeah.
high value women. Like I want you to pull all the women in Victoria's Secret models. I want you to pull all the bottle girls in Las Vegas or whatever.
I've done it. No, I've done that study. It's called going out and seeing who the hot girls are with. And I'm telling you, they're
It's
not
not
with
the dad bod.
They're with the tall guys.
Unless
that are
they're
in good shape.
70 and rich, then you can get away with the dad bod.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
a dad bank account.
all right, I'll
that's
tell
a
you-
daddy. That's a
Yeah,
daddy.
that's a daddy.
I'll tell you what. If I think game trumps all. I think the ability to have social and emotional intelligence is the single most attractive factor a guy can have. I truly believe you can be a guy with a dad bod and not that much money, but if you have high levels as EQ and SQ, you can get away with it. But with that said, of taking game away, I will say I think looks trumps money.
Yeah.
Would we agree on that? Like as a woman,
Looks trumps money.
attractive, a hot broke guy, or ugly rich dude, who are you going to start dating?
I think there's a barrier of entry though.
Okay, let's just say, put it this way. Let's say,
Like,
let's say this. I'll make it specific.
Yeah, you need
I'll get
scenarios.
specific. I'll get specific. Michelle, you're gonna represent all women, so no big deal, okay? So, would you rather, assuming you're single, right? Would you rather date a guy who's a 6, but he's got $1 million in the bank, or would you rather this guy's a 10, but he's got 60,000 in the bank?
Personalities being equal.
Personality is a huge factor.
They're equal. Personalities are
being
equal.
Equally good?
Equally good. They're both a 8 personality.
80%?
Yeah, they're an 8 in
8 out of 10 personality.
8 out of 10 personality,
Right,
but
okay.
one is a 6.
Honestly,
Yeah.
At this state, a woman my age and all the lessons I've learned, I'm probably going to go for the older 6. Because we can take that money and hook him up a little bit if we need to.
You know what I mean?
You're like, we can invest in him. We can buy the looks.
Yeah.
Calf implants. Now we're talking.
I gotta be attracted, you know?
But I also, like, I'm 38, right? So, like, I can't go for the hot broke guy anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's like now he's using his looks as currency in the world and isn't valuing, success and stability and family and all of that. That's just me where I'm at.
What about 25-year-old Michelle? What do you think 25-year-old Michelle would go for?
Hot broke guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
The problem is in South Florida, he's like 20 grand in debt. Doesn't have $60,000.
Well, no,
in the
the
bank.
problem is in South Florida, the hot rich guy's a billionaire. The hot rich.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, this guy's hot, but like this guy's buying me an island.
Yeah.
Like it's just not the.
Let me ask you this, Michelle. So you're 38, you're divorced, and you're currently dating. Is that right?
Married.
Not currently dating.
Married. Okay.
No, not
No,
married.
you're
Not
single.
married.
No,
Oh,
I don't know where you
Single.
got that. Yeah.
Okay, so you're single.
Single and not currently dating.
Let's talk turkey. I feel like I don't know. Are you more of an online dating, in-person dating? And I have a weird read about you. I feel like you're the kind of girl that might even go up to a guy at a bar if you find an attractive man. I feel like you have that like go-getterness.
Yeah. So I've done online dating. It's not for me anymore.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a breeding ground for creeps. I feel like we're giving them the answers before they even need to ask.
You know what I mean?
Preach,
so
sister.
That's just not for me anymore.
I absolutely would not be shy if I wanted to go up to somebody. But at this stage, I would prefer to meet somebody more organically because a little part of me, and like I could change my mind down the road, but like a little part of me feels like I kind of don't want to be with somebody that feels the need to be on dating apps. Now, mind you, I understand that at some point people are like, I just don't go out, or I do blah, blah. I'm like, or I'm too busy. Like, I understand it's like positive purpose, but just where I'm at right now, I kind of want to be with somebody who's like okay with being alone. And then when it happens,
Listen, listen. Don't double down on this. You're right. Listen, the dating apps are the weirdos. The real people are out there in the world. And I feel like you, like I said, I don't know why, I just felt like you have that that ability to, if you're at a bar and you see a guy, you're going to start or give him a chance to open. So would you actually walk up to a guy, or would you give him some nonverbal cues? Like, what's your strategy here? Because I feel like you have a little bit of that.
I feel like my strategy would be to like place myself where I can be seen.
Proximity. Okay, yeah.
I'd probably like let it start there and then kind of try to like detect if they're looking at me, if there's any type of engagement. And then I'd probably go nonverbal. And then if I'm getting some type of cues, I don't know, I'd prefer to wait and let them approach. Or I could like look for some reason to go strike up like a conversation, you know what I mean? But I'd rather, personally, just because I do like more alpha types, I'd rather just put myself in a position where I can be seen and then see if he has, you know, the nerve to approach.
Where you're at is what so many women do, and then guys miss that. Like, they don't understand when they're getting the nonverbals from the girls. Like, the girl's like, I'm looking at him, doesn't he get it? And the guy's just like, fuck, this girl's giving me nothing.
I talked about it on a previous episode, though. I still think if a girl is willing to put herself in a position to be seen or near the guy, just not approach him, just put yourself in that position, I still think you're going to improve drastically the guys that are approaching you. Because you can do your own filtering. You do your own filtering.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you filter it in real life, right?
And you want a guy who can read those cues anyway, right? If he can't read the cue, he's not the guy for you.
Right.
I see Michelle as being really good at baiting guys to talk to her. I don't think you should approach.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I see her as the kind of girl that's really good at baiting it and then being like a shit test queen. Yeah. And like giving him a lot of shit, busting balls with him to see if he can match her and if he's actually confident.
I don't know. I think she's optimistic. I think she tries to give guys a chance.
Are you?
I think she like wants him to succeed.
If a guy randomly approaches you, do you keep him on his toes? Do you banter and kind of like fuck with him, or are you very like more like the friendly, you know, neighborhood girl and more courtly?
I start friendly because first of all, I think that it takes a lot of nerve for a guy to approach. So even if I'm not into it, I'll always be so polite and say like, thank you for the compliment, you know, or something like that. Like I always want a guy to, number one, like be like, okay, she was a nice girl, you know, or like, oh, that was really scary. I took my chance and it didn't work out, but she was so cool about it, you know? So, and then if I'm attracted, then, I'll start nice, you know, thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the drink. Well, what's your name? Where are you from? You know, I'll strike up conversation. And then if it turns out that he's got like a bantery personality, yeah, we'll like shoot the shit, you know?
Thank you for the drink. I love that she included that.
Like, I definitely am like I'm a banter girl.
No, one thing I captures from there is you go, thank you for the drink, which means that to me means that you're like, yeah, because the guy, that's what these guys are doing, right? So they're walking up to you and they're like, can I buy you a drink? Is that what you're getting a lot? Yeah. Interesting.
Yes, 100%.
Do you think a guy should immediately buy a drink?
If you're out in a social situation, that's what you do.
Okay.
You know?
Do you think that's an appropriate open? You think a guy comes up to you and says, can I buy you a drink? You think that's a reasonable starter?
I don't think it's unreasonable. I don't think it's the only start, but I was just like creating this like social scenario.
Right. So Jarrett will tell you, I think, that he's anti-opening with, can I buy you a drink? Would you agree with that, Jarrett?
If I'm trying to slip it to one girl, yes, I'm against it. Ironically, I'd rather buy a round of drinks for a group than buy just for one girl. Because then
no, but I'm saying as an open, as a pure open.
What if you go with
need for it?
What if you go with, can I buy you a drink? And if she says yes, you go with, good to know in case this goes well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Hi, I'm Albert, or hi, I'm Jared.
Nice.
That's good stuff.
That's good. You're gonna get some shit tests.
That's good stuff.
I am all for a guy buying a girl a drink. I'm not for the problem, especially in these cities like LA, Miami, where girls will literally go out and use men just to buy them drinks.
Sure.
And I think as a guy,
I agree with that.
Treating attention for drinks.
So as much as I love the idea of let me buy you a drink, and then if a girl looks him up and down and goes, you're cute, okay, I see potential, yes, buy me a drink. I think most women will look at him and be like, free drink. I don't give a fuck what he looks like.
It's just autopilot.
It's autopilot. Yes, give me a drink, and then thanks for the drink, walk. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I think myself and a lot of men get burned so many times that yes, the man should buy the girl a drink, but when she's earned it, when there's something there, and remember, we can debate on this if you want, but
I'd love to debate with you.
Yeah, I would love to go to it because here's the thing. I want a girl to be attracted to me for me first, number one, and see that interest. And then when that is there, if I go buy her a drink because she's invested, because there's some attraction or sparks going on, now what I've seen is that spark doubles down. Oh my God, he likes me. Behavioral psychology, B.F. Skinner, you're rewarding good behavior. It's operant conditioning. So if she's doing things, if she's putting work into this interaction, I want to reward that behavior. And
what are your thoughts on it? Yeah, what are your thoughts on it? I have some more on it too, but I want to hear your thoughts.
So many thoughts. So I partially don't disagree with you. I think maybe even if you approached and like kind of, started casual conversation or whatever the approach is, if she appears to be engaging back, appears to be interested, I could see like, let's go for the intro first before the drink. I don't think the drink needs to come immediately.
It's not like you have to buy me a drink to talk to me.
It's not that at all. However, the whole like earning the drink thing is like not, first of all, it's just a drink. Like if we have to earn the drink, like if we have to perform
for the drink, like it's just a drink.
I saw your.
Now, I am also the type of girl though, like I go out, I buy my own drinks. I don't wait for a dude. Like if I can't afford to buy my own drinks, I'm not going out. You know what I mean? So I'm not sitting around waiting for somebody to do that, I think like say if you're in a social like bar environment, buying the drink, I don't know. I feel like it kind of comes with it, unless like there's just clearly no connection, like right from the gate. You know what I mean? Then it's just like, oh, have a good night.
So let me clarify.
It's just there's something about the earning the drink that I'm like, ooh.
So I hear you.
I saw you light up when he said earn.
So let me clarify. Would you invest your time, energy, or money in a man that you're not interested in?
No, of course not.
That's what I mean. I'm not going to invest my time, energy, or in this case, money, in a girl that either I have no interest in because she has no interest in me, or because we haven't gotten to that stage yet. When I talk to a girl, and because again, women will use men a lot of times for resources. They will use men for a free drink. They call it the Tinder diet I saw, where they'll use men for free meals. Like, as a guy, you have to be a little bit selective. Now, yes, I can go ahead and buy every girl I meet a drink or whatever, sure. But when I say a girl's earned it, what I mean is this. Yeah. I've approached her, I've talked to her, she's engaged with me, and there's some interest there. At that point,
there's reciprocation.
There's reciprocation, mutual interest. If I
I do agree with you.
That's what I mean by earned it. Am I asking her to bark like a dog on command? No. That's not what I mean. So I do want to.
I saw her light up when you said earned it, and she's like, "Oh shit!"
But I also believe, and this is controversial, I think both the man and the girl are doing operant conditioning to each other of what they want. Meaning, I am getting conditioned by the girl. The girl 100%. Is showing me what she wants and doesn't want by rewarding my good behavior and punishing my bad behavior. If I see something creepy to you, or something that's a little off-putting, you're going to turn away from me. You're going to roll your eyes at what I said in this case, right? Like I said, earn, and you're like, right, we saw the eye roll. That's punishing the behavior, and it's warranted.
I think my eyes get big.
Your eyes get right, but so even small indications of disinterest or like whatever, that's punishing the bad behavior because you don't like what I said or what I did, right?
Agree.
I think it's a mutual thing that happens with guys and girls so that we can connect, or we realize, hey, it's not here. And that needs to happen. In my relationship right now with Anna, she's still training me to be a good boyfriend. Like, I'll say, she's training me.
It's a part of every relationship.
This painting and rug didn't just happen. This shit, like, this is from having a girlfriend be like, no, bad boyfriend, do this right. But also vice versa. I'm training her and being like, I'm rewarding this. I like that. No, I don't like that. And to me, that's what makes an amazing relationship is when it never ends. When I'm constantly learning how to be a better man for my girl, and she's learning how to be a better woman for me.
Yeah, I think that whole thing of the reason I asked is because guys use that as like a crutch. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I want to build a rapport with this girl. Let me lead with a drink. And to his point, I think it's like the vibe should be there first. And if there's a vibe, so like something I'll often say, and I'm probably buy more drinks than anyone in this town. What I often say is, you know what? You seem cool. Let's get a drink.
Right.
That's literally like a statement that I say often because yes, they did earn the drink, but it's not so much they earned it. It's like we earned it. So like we're meshing. So because we're meshing, we're advancing.
I got the perfect analogy. It's a lesser version of the kiss. Think of the kiss. It's
agree.
It's like, would you say like a man has to earn the right to kiss you?
Yeah.
That's what it is. But to a lesser degree, obviously, right? I mean, a drink's a fucking drink. A kiss is a little bit higher up, but like it's the same kind of feeling.
I just hate the spend first. I think if you start with the spend first, you're never gonna get out of it in that relationship. Whether it's starting with $5 or $50, right. I think if you're starting off with here's money, then you're cool to me, then this goes well, then I spend money, then you're cool, then this, you're never gonna get out of it.
Here's where I get attacked in the comments, where all the guys jump at me. I think the man should call me old-fashioned, whatever. But guys are going crazy with this. Be like, why do I need to pay for the date? We should split the bill. I'm like, no. Like, you invite the girl out, you pay for the date. Pick a date that you can do. I'm sorry, but the guy should they're like, well, why? You know, with everything being equal. And I'm like, this is a little controversial. I'm against androgyny. I think the man should be the man, the woman should be the woman, and like a man should still pay for a date. There should be masculine and feminine.
Hell yeah.
I think androgyny, the more we're getting to this like non-binary, androgynous, whatever culture, it's it's killing attraction. And that's why I think like the non-binary types, I have the hardest time finding like anyone to hook up with because they're too androgynous.
I think this is actually Albert's that I stole. I think that the man should absolutely pay for the first date, but then the date should also have multiple components, as we've talked before, and the woman should buy the first round at the next venue.
No, well,
or at least offer.
Or at least
I
offer.
like an offer.
At least offer.
At least if I take a girl to dinner and then we go to a bar after for drinks, she should be like, let me get this one round.
Yeah, 100%.
Michelle, I'm going to give you the best women dating. Not that you need it, but if there is women listening to this podcast,
Rach,
there are.
This is what I want to say. A lady never expects the man to pay for her. Whether it's drinks, whether it's dinner, a real lady never expects the man to pay. A gentleman will never let her pay.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to. On the show How I Met Your Mother, it was perfectly done. It's like, do the check reach test. If the woman doesn't at least...
Don't short arm it. Don't really get out.
If a woman offers to pay, I'm never going to let her, but that means so much. Here's why. Because it shows she appreciates what I'm doing. Versus what's happening now in this culture with men and women is women expect it. And yes, obviously you should expect a gentleman, but when you kill the appreciation, like, well, that was dinner, go ahead and pay, sir. It's just like, well, now it's not even appreciated.
Or even a thank you. Like, even a thank you.
I think a lady should always offer. I think every date I've been on when a woman has been like, no, I can pay for myself, and I got to be like, put your pocketbook away, stop it.
I feel embarrassing. I would think.
I'm big on even the proximity of the thank you to the dinner, because I've had a girl like go through dinner, go through like the next activity we went through, and then like as I'm driving her home, be like, oh, by the way, thanks for dinner, and that's trash to me.
Yeah.
Like. When dinner's paid for, like, thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, or go just offer. Because that's a great test. Honestly, as a woman, that is a great test. If you offer to pay for yourself on the date, and he's like, yeah, absolutely. You're dealing with a broke guy who just doesn't know how to be a gentleman. Good, you saved yourself from having bad sex and trying to date some guy who's a cheapskate and awful. Like, you owe it to yourself to like see if he's the kind that would take it.
The first time we hold hands, it should be over the check. You reach it. You reach, then I reach. That should be the first handhold.
So I think I 97% agree with you. On the date, let's say the first stop is dinner. You know, I would not touch my checkbook. You know, because here's the thing. I really believe in like setting a tone. You know what I mean? Like, because what if I do that and like he expects me to do that every time, or now we're setting the standard of like going Dutch if he is that kind of guy, you know?
But then don't date him again.
But then don't date him.
Here's the thing. If you go on the date with a guy and you offer to pay and he lets you, I'm sorry, but as a lady, like, yeah, I think a woman should be ready to pay for herself. She shouldn't be like, I forgot my wallet. But if that's the deal breaker and he goes Dutch, don't let him have a second date.
Right.
Yeah.
He fucked up. Punish him.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he would end up punished anyways. I see what you're saying, and I'll actually like take this advice in the future. But I feel, I don't know. I just feel like it would be embarrassing to him.
It is.
No, but if a woman offers to pay, that's
But think about this.
No, if you let it happen.
Oh, you let it happen.
If you let it
You
happen.
want to reward chivalry, right? If you're an old school, like classic, you want to reward chivalry. If you don't reach for the check, you totally trash an opportunity for chivalry.
Because he gets to be like, no, babe, no.
Right.
Allow me.
You gotta let him be the man, and if it's nothing, if it's just like arms crossed, then he didn't do shit.
Yeah. It lets us feel so It lets us feel so masculine.
But you gotta take the risk. You gotta take the risk of reaching, and if he's any sort of high value guy, then he will not let gets to be the man.
Yeah, and that's spot. I
pull
just
the
say
check
that,
back.
that's kind of you, and I like that.
Yeah.
Let me ask.
But
you,
a big turn on. It's a nice one that guys want.
Let me ask you this, Michelle. So these two over here, long-term relationships, locked up. They're in jail, life sentence.
Fair.
You and I were out there.
the key.
Girl, you and I are out there on these streets. It sounds like. So I want to compare a little bit of what the dating scene.
A streetwalker.
What the dating scene is like in Southern California compared to South Florida. I'll give you a small story from my experience. Here's what the dating scene looks like in South Florida. This happened to me this week. I was at a gas station and I saw like this tall, slender.
Not to pump yourself up though.
Yeah, I saw this tall, slender blonde girl, and I check her out. You know, I'm looking at her, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, that's a crackhead. And it was literally a homeless person who had recently smoked meth. And the dating scene here is so bad that my thought was like, you know, if she cleaned up a little bit, we got her a shower, maybe she'd be reasonable.
That's like finding a pretty woman.
Wait, hold on. I want you to remember this moment for when you try and push a brunette girl on yourself, and you're like, I can make it work with this brunette.
Yeah.
Just remember that you'd rather go for a crackhead blonde than with a nice, suitable brunette.
That's a good point. I'm like, this crackhead blonde has potential.
Yes.
Albert knows himself up and down, in and out until a girl walks up to him, and then it can be whatever.
Exactly. So what do you think? That's a little microcosm of what the dating scene is like here in South Florida. What's it looking like in Southern California?
Is it
I feel
better-
like we have some alignment in that.
Is it better than crackheads over there or not?
There are a lot of crackheads out here. So I'll be honest with you, I have not been dating. I got out of a relationship and have not dated. I just kind of wanted to like take the time for myself and like heal and figure out what's wrong.
Fair.
So I've been chilling.
You know what I mean? I've been chilling. I've been like kind of enjoying like the alone time. However, I can give many testaments of what I hear is going on in these streets. And it is a lot of going Dutch. It's a lot of non-committal, you know, a lot of, people expecting relationship.
What do you call it? Like just like acting like you're in a relationship
Fuck
without
boys?
commitment.
Fuck boys.
Situationship.
I've heard
Now,
about,
these are
like,
fuck boys.
South Florida dating, and I think Orange County and LA is like very, very similar. It just seems like people really struggle
with commitment, like loyalty, you know? And then it also seems too that it's very rare, you know, like in my instance, like I would, want somebody who is fit but loyal and, stable. A lot of people tell me now, like, Michelle, you can't have it all. Like you have to compromise on something. And I'm like, why? I might have to compromise like on the height thing, because I do prefer 6 foot and above. If the love of my life comes in at like 5'10", all right, fine. But just a lot of like fuckboy tendencies I hear, but then I also hear about it like a lot from females too. You know what I mean? Just a lack of like quality and loyalty.
I actually think it's better that you're not dating to be able to give this opinion, because you've got like the bird's eye view, and sometimes people in it can't see. What are top 3 red flags for you, like when you're getting out there and you're mixing it up?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. For me, love bombing.
Love bombing.
Okay.
Which
Sucks because I love it. I love men obsessed with me.
I didn't know this was a thing until recently, and I'm definitely
that
guilty
is
of
a
that.
red flag, which sucks. You know?
All right.
I'm the opposite of whatever that is. I'm so stingy.
You're
with
the
it.
anti-love bomb.
In the
a love
beginning,
bomber.
I'm so stingy.
He
with
won't
it.
say I love you to a girl until like they're married with kids.
I'm stingy with it in the beginning. God bless my girlfriend for sticking through it, but
She really-
in the beginning,
she's a saint.
stingy.
Oh yeah,
Stingy.
I am the love Unabomber. I am
Yeah.
not, I'm definitely. I didn't even know this was a real thing, and then I'm like, wait, shit.
I'm
this
like
is the-
love North Korea. It's rap.
You think he had to make like a girl earn a drink? He made a girl earn a. Oh my god.
Oh.
Bless her though.
Fucking.
But now she gets it all. All right.
Yeah. Now she
it all.
gets it. Now she's doing it all.
All right, so love bombing.
Yeah. What are the other two?
Yeah, top 3 mistakes men are making:
Red
love
flags.
bombing or red
No,
flags.
we got red flags.
3 mistakes men are making. Gosh, I would say
You can stick with red flags.
Or red
red
flags.
flags.
Stick with the red flags. We got one.
Yeah.
They love bomb too much.
Love
That's the
bomb
same
is
thing.
one.
It's a mistake.
love bomb too much, or like almost like playing it like too cool. I think.
You know,
The Brandon.
Yeah, the Brandon. We'll call it the Brandon.
Authenticity.
Oh no.
Lack of authenticity. And then, I mean,
That's the Jared.
I don't know if
We're talking about intro or just in general relationships, but the freaking like multiple women.
you know what I mean?
That's the
Like,
Albert.
That's the Albert.
We literally got all the red flags lined up.
like Brandon, Jared.
Yeah.
There's one flag for each of us we identified.
Yeah,
with
that's
there.
good.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
nice. Thanks. You worked that out perfectly, even in seat order. That was nice.
So because you mentioned height, Jarrett wants to run you through his little
Thank you. I want to
calculator.
run the delusion calculator
Yeah.
test and see
Yeah.
what percent
He
of
loves this
American
thing.
men are eligible for you, Michelle.
He
Okay,
loves
you ready
this.
for this? I
Okay.
love it.
Oh, I saw you do this.
Yeah.
So did the other girl.
Are
And she
you-
was like at 0.025. Remember I told you, I was
Yes.
like, she hasn't been hurt enough.
Are you ready to find out how many men are ready for you? Can you take? Okay.
Oh,
He
So
loves stats.
number 1. So you want men. You're not men and women, right?
men.
Okay, men. Wants kids, doesn't want kids, or either?
Either if it's the love of my life.
Okay. What's the minimum age he can be?
30.
30?
33. Yeah.
33.
33.
And what's the maximum age?
47.
46.
I was way off.
46. All right. What's his minimum height?
Get in
This
there.
is where they always get him.
This is where the nitty gritty happens.
This is where it comes.
Yeah.
What
This
minimum?
is where my compromises come.
Do the
minimum height.
math. Think about your heels. Do the math.
You're 5'8".
You are
I'm already
5'8".
taller than him in heels if he's 5'10".
Are you willing to like stand in a ditch?
All right. So what's the minimum
Yes.
height? How
How's your
short?
posture? What kind of posture?
What's the
you work
minimum short king you'll take?
The minimum what?
Oh, Short
The
king.
minimum height. Minimum height.
Height.
with? Stop me.
Minimum height was 5'10".
5'10". Made the cut. Yeah.
What did you ask me before?
No, you're
He,
good.
he,
You're good.
he said minimum short king. So he was comparing it to height.
But
Yeah.
what did you ask? But didn't you just ask me?
What's the maximum height you'll take? We'll go up to 7-Eleven. But what's the how?
7-Eleven. Let's go.
You'll take a 7-Eleven?
No, you'll date Yao Ming.
Stop it. You'll date Yao Ming. You'll date a 7'11" NBA player.
Yes, absolutely.
shit.
She's like,
All right.
she's like, if that trio buy me a vodka soda, I'm in.
Wait, what about 8 foot? Will you go 8 foot? It
Wait,
goes.
did you say NBA? Yes. When I did
Look at the
think
hair
that,
push.
not
Okay,
Big
okay,
Foot.
cool.
No, would you 8 feet? If he's 8 feet tall.
There's no 8-footers.
Yeah, so when I date Bigfoot, I would go to 8 feet. Yeah.
You go to 8 feet. All right.
As long as he's a proportionate looking man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're out.
I would
All
hope
the
so.
8-footers. All the 8-footers.
What if he's
Perfect.
got a giant head?
Yeah.
How big can it? No.
No.
What's the minimum income he can have? What is the lowest amount he can make per year?
She's in Southern California. It's expensive
It
out
is
Yeah,
there.
keep in mind you're in.
Also, women have no
Cali.
idea what things cost, but okay.
Minimum,
Yep.
I got 150.
if I really,
Be honest, brother.
You can preface. I'll give you an out. You can preface it by where you live. Minimum for your area, which is.
Well, this is America.
expensive.
area is expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Southern
Minimum
California. It's
I got you
expensive.
at 150, but 90?
90,000 if there's room for growth opportunity.
Okay. All right, I'm putting you for 90,000.
Before taxes.
And this is that was a hard.
90,000 in
Like looking for authentic love here.
90,000 in California. So
All
it
right.
works, so it works at Wendy's.
What about ethnicity?
Nice?
Any white, black, Native American, Asian, or Hawaiian? Or does any ethnicity work? Or do you want them white or a specific
Michelle, if you've never been with a black guy, but you've thought about it, I'm the guy for you.
Yeah,
I have.
Nice.
he's a
So-
really nice starter
Alright, so
pack.
I'm a
are
starter
we cool
help.
with any ethnicity or not?
Not all of them, but a handful of them. So, okay,
Handful.
white,
Nice.
Black, South American.
Okay.
Hispanic.
Like, just basically, like, not like Asian.
What about hair color or eye color? Does that matter or no?
Eye color doesn't matter now.
What about hair color?
Doesn't matter.
Education or religion? Does those matter or no?
Religion does.
All right, what religion?
Christian.
Got you for Christian. What about smoking? Does that matter?
No smoking.
No smoking. What about drinking? Does that matter?
Encouraged.
Buy her a drink.
Is it problematic?
It could be no. It could be yes, no, or either. Okay.
Yes and no.
Is he allowed to be married when he meets you? Are we excluding married men, or can you date married, or can you?
Wow.
That's a yes.
No, don't be that girl.
Not excluding.
Not married.
No.
Michelle, don't be that girl. You thought about
If
it.
he's the awesome guy, you'll take the married guy or no?
No.
She's saying no.
All right.
Never,
She's not a
never.
home wrecker.
Listen, I've never cheated. I've never been cheated
All
on.
right.
I do not get down like
That would have
take
saved
the
you
over.
so many percentage. I'm just saying. I'm guessing as a fitness freak and coach, we're going to exclude obese men, correct?
excluding, absolutely.
Let's find out. All right. What percent of men in America do you feel are a match for you?
Like 3%.
3%?
Woof.
Woof. 0.28% of men, not all of society. If we just take men, you are the only men you can date are 0.28 men. To put it in perspective,
Big yikes.
that's 100. There are 165 million men in America. You are saying you will only date 462,000 of them.
God.
That's the problem with dating right now. That's the problem. When our grandmas and grandpas were out there dating, it was whatever's in their town. It was whatever's.
Michelle, I got good news for you. So you're what part of
It's like
California?
one sitting right here.
What part of California are you in?
Southern California.
All right, so if you go tomorrow, if you go to see the Los Angeles Dodgers, there'll be 40,000 people in the stadium. Of those 40,000, 30,000 will be men. So 0.28 is 1 out of every 400 guys. So the 30,000 men there's 75 that are for you. So
Just
all
go to
right.
Dodger
That's how it
Stadium.
feels out here. I'm gonna be honest.
75's not bad.
Because that's how it is. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
most women are not looking at like the guy who works at Walmart. We're not looking at the Uber driver. We're not looking at women. You're not looking at like I say we. We're not. You're not looking at like the average guy. But neither should you, because when you get into cultivated social circles, obviously you're being around more elite people. So your worldview funnels in those kind of guys. For example, you're going to the gym with fitness freaks, you're going to be dealing with taller, fitter type men, right? If you're going to nightclubs or these kind of like intermixers, you're typically dealing with single men. So the excluding the if you said you'd take a married guy, that would bump up at least to like 6 to 10% all of a sudden, right? Because half of the men are married. So like you're surrounding your circle more and more with those kind of guys. So that's the good news out there. That's what these stats aren't showing, right? But the reality is, back in grandparents' time, we live in this digital age where we're seeing all these beautiful women on Instagram. You're seeing all these high status men on Instagram. We're like, oh, they're out there. There's so many of them. The reality is 0.28%. And we have to start appreciating what we have more versus a never-ending cycle of next. Oh, we're going to be doomed to be alone and really sad for it.
Well, let me ask you this, because you made a comment earlier about taking a break, right? You said you're in between searching for it. Do you think when you jump back in, it's going to be a mental decision of I'm ready to date again, or do you think you might be somewhere and like,
Mr. Right.
Like Will Smith says in Hitch, it's never a good day to sweep a woman off her feet. Do you think someone's going to come into your life and turn the light bulb back on for you, or do you think it's going to be a conscious choice for you?
That's a really good question.
Thanks.
It's gonna be both. So
For myself and like where I'm at in my life, I'm actually like making a conscious choice not to date because there are some things that I'm just on a journey right now. And I don't trust my current self to choose properly right now. You know what I mean? Because I do think that I'll go for like the hot, fit guy who's probably going to hurt me.
you know what I mean?
It's right here.
I think that if I give myself a little time,
To just kind of like sit alone and learn to love to be alone. I think that version of me will probably give a broader spectrum of men a chance. Like maybe I'll be like, oh, okay, he's got a little dad bod, but you know what? We can go to the gym together. I don't know. I think that people are very quick to get out of a relationship and get into something else because they don't want to sit alone with themselves and kind of like reflect on maybe why they made bad decisions either in the relationship or with the person that they chose altogether. I think people should just spend a little bit more time on themselves.
People are terrified of themselves. No one wants to be by themselves.
No.
Well, it's mega cheesy, but you don't really want to go out there looking for your other half. You want to go out looking for your other whole. And if you're not whole, then you can't give somebody that.
Right. It should be two holes coming together, not two halves. But
usually there's one.
I will say, as a girl,
I also just I think that people just get into relationships like too quickly.
You know what I mean? They're like,
I'm lonely. I want a companion. Let me go do that. When a lot of times people are carrying so much baggage. Like I know in my relationships, I spent a lot of time paying for somebody else's crimes because they chose not to heal from their past relationship. So like all of a sudden I entered into this relationship with trust issues already on me. And like I said earlier, like I've never cheated. I've never been cheated on. I've never dealt with trust issues in a relationship. And all of a sudden I entered into this relationship not being trusted. I'm like, what? Like you went through my phone. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I wish people would go heal first and then get out here and try to make like a wise decision on meeting people and be that quality person first, not just like try to pick somebody up because you're lonely.
Michelle, I think it's interesting too, because I think guys and girls have a huge deficit in like need to be around their partner. So like Patrice O'Neal, RIP, one of the best comedians of all time, said, men don't want to be alone, but they want to be by themselves. Like it's like, and women, I feel like have more of a tendency of like, I remember when I was younger, one of my biggest issues with one of my relationships was she wanted to be around me all of the time. And like, I think even Jared, as he's working through his relationship, like he's learning independence while still being dependent with someone.
I'll joke with her all the time. The best thing about fighting with Anna is getting the silent treatment. I'm like, thank you. This is awesome.
Like separation is super healthy in relationships. And I feel like women need more time with their partner than men do. And I think that's our society because of the phone, right? Where you are always connected to the person you're with. And then you're living with them. Yes. And then people now are working from home. It's like, dude, you never get to be away from your partner. And that's very bad for relationships.
Yeah, you don't get to miss somebody.
You don't get the chance to miss them.
Give her the gift of missing you.
Before we go, though, I do want to tie, I want to tie dating back into, like, your world, right? So, like, health and nutrition and wellness, because you seem to be very afraid of the hot, fit guy. When a guy's approaching you...
I've been hurt.
I see that. The hot, fit guys are very dangerous. I'm not going to put myself in that category, but we'll see. How important is it when you see a guy walking up to you that you see that he takes care of himself?
How important is it?
Yeah, like how much better is it received when you see like, okay, this guy hasn't said a word to me, but he's in shape, he takes care of himself, he's healthy.
Because I have a theory on this that might help you, Michelle, but I want to hear your answer first.
Very, very important. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest.
But now check it. I wanted you to do an experiment. If you're willing to date again and try an experiment, the next time you find a nice 5'10", nerdy, big-headed guy who's got a slight dad bod, give that guy a chance. I know, it's scary. But if you give that guy a chance, here's what I think would happen. Being around you will make him get fit, number one. So I think I'm into that. Because honestly, like being around Anna, my partner, whatever, we motivate each other, number one, all right? So I think if a guy's gonna date you specifically, because this is your world, fitness, whatnot, you can take a guy, now if he's obese no. But if you're taking a guy who's slight dad bod, I literally think if he started dating you, he would be forced to get in shape just from being around you because we are products of our environment, and he would appreciate you so much for bettering him as a man, number one. He would worship you and treat you so right because you're helping him out, because he knows he's getting better because of you, because when he first met you, you're higher than him on the just physical attractiveness. I really think you would be surprised.
I'm on the other side of this.
No, I think you'd be surprised that like...
I am open to that. I think I have to be open to that at this point.
If you would try that as an experiment. Now...
I'm on the other side of this completely.
Same.
I'm literally on the other side.
I'm telling you. Like,
so
why?
Jared's like, The guy will change to you. People don't change, number one.
Yeah.
Number
Not
two,
true.
no, very true. Number two, you're not a liar. Number two, when it comes to health and fitness, this is just a very honest thing. There's a thing called muscle memory, and those that develop activity and physicality and athleticism early in life retain it a lot better than people who are 35 and never worked out before. Their barrier for entry is harder. Their genes are different. Like people all the time are like, "Ow, why you been working out?" I'm like, "Dude, I haven't been in a gym in a month, but I worked out my whole life when I was young, so I retain athleticism." Whereas people who are never had those habits aren't just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm 35 now, or I'm 40, and I met Michelle. Let me all of a sudden now become a fitness person."
There's outliers to it, but I just can't stand people that can't self-motivate.
Right.
I don't want to drain my energy motivating to you. And again, there's outliers, and maybe there's some little thing that I need to push and you need to push me to do, but like your health shouldn't be one of them.
And like for him, I know it's important. Like he's a huge gym person, but he doesn't want a girl that goes to the gym because she has to.
Yeah.
He wants a girl that has to go to the
part
gym
of her
because she
routine.
wants to.
That would be ideal, but I'm trying to save her from the guy that's going to use her. He's hot. He knows he's been hot his whole life. He doesn't appreciate her. He knows he can get other girls, whatever. He's not taking it seriously.
She needs a retired fuckboy. Is what I'm. This
Okay,
is
if
what
you
I'm.
can find a retired fuckboy, sure.
I would prefer that, but I do hear what you're saying. Listen, I would prefer, like, I don't want to say retired fuckboy, but I mean, if he's retired,
Probably, that's probably what I would end up being.
The problem is, how do you
attracted
know
to.
he's retired?
But I hear what you're saying, Dre.
You need a graduated fuckboy.
How do you know he's retired versus how do you know he's going to stop eating McDonald's?
Let's just say he's a little soft.
I'm very familiar with muscle memory and all that. I don't require fit, buff, but not overweight and not soft. Let's just start working out. We can build it together even, you know what I mean?
Here, you guys say you guys can change.
50 pounds.
I'll use myself as an example. I got in better shape becoming friends with you guys.
Yeah, but not because of your relationship. Because your friends made fun of you.
Because you're a product of your environment. Show me a
Also,
person's
Jared said,
friend.
but you're not liar. You're not liar.
No,
guys,
no.
guys like you and I who
I'm telling
make
you,
massive
I
life
used to, so
changes.
Michelle, if you don't know this, I used to be obese. Not fat. I used to be literally
Okay, interesting.
clinically.
Me too.
Okay, well, so then people can change, clearly. I believe the best way, do you understand the best way to train a bad dog, a broken dog with anxiety who bites people, whatever, is to put it
Chinese
in a healthy
restaurant.
path.
Oh.
The best thing, the best training by far is environment. So if you take a guy, again, is it going to work if he's gross and obese? And probably not. But I got in the best shape of my life being around fit people by making the best friends.
Because this is a healthy relationship. That I don't know.
But if you have fit friends and he gets fit friends and he's around you and he's got a dad bod, watch that dad bod go. That's my prediction.
Yeah, well, and something that's also going to be very important to me once I do start dating again is establishing a friendship first. I really want to get to know somebody
Social
before
circle.
I deep dive into anything sexual, anything like that. I do want to establish a friendship first because in my past I made mistakes by jumping in too quickly and then got to know them throughout, and that did not work out in my favor. So, maybe it's the case that I meet this, said person in the experiment, give them a chance. Maybe as a friend, they decide that they want to get active and healthy, and maybe they'll do that because they want to or because they want to date at some point. But there will be, regardless of, especially if it's a retired fuckboy,
We will be getting to know each other first.
You got a panel here of retired fuckboys.
We're rooting for you, Michelle.
We know. We're rooting for you.
And I think that friendship first thing is unbelievably massive. I think that if we really boil down to why you said Southern California and why I think South Florida is a hard dating market is because it's literally never that. So if you look at a small town, you're friends. You grow up with these people. You marry your high school sweetheart. So it is kind of friendship first. Miami, LA, it's not friendship first. It's hot girl, guy with means or whatever. And it's literally the two people they couldn't be less friends. They couldn't have less in common. They're just too, it's
It's
physical and transactional and value based. So I think that's unbelievably accurate for our markets. It's if you can find two humans who connect as people more than just being attracted to each other and the surface stuff.
Yeah.
With me and Anna, literally, on your point, Michelle, we started off, we were a situationship, which is bad. We started off as a situationship, and it
Just
ended.
drinking my water.
It ended in disaster when she found another girl's panties in my bed.
Yeah, this is a guy who professionally teaches men how to interact with women.
Yeah,
and
so
this is how he got.
So that was bad.
Sick plug for the business.
So I admit that was bad. Okay, and we put on. But
She was like retired fuckboy.
Yeah,
huh?
retired.
Okay.
But
he's like forced out of retirement. What's the difference?
He's like Tom Brady.
listen. Even Mike Tyson still fights street fighter. But the point is, after that fiasco, so I will admit, I almost lost like the love of my life right here. Like I almost I really messed up fuckboying, right? Being a player almost ruined an amazing thing for me because I wasn't in that right headspace, and I admit that.
Right.
Fast forward to later on, I rekindled things with Anna as a friend, and I brought her in my circle as a friend.
as an employee.
No, but that came later. She started as a friend.
No, as a friend. She was in your friend. In your
She was in my
circle.
friend. She was in my social circle. Later, she acted as an assistant or whatever, which that's always hot. But like, she started. But
HR was not pleased.
thank God I make sure. But basically, she came in as a friend, and I even remember like her and the other girls. I'm like, I will pay you to find me my perfect girl, like as a matchmaker thing. I didn't go to matchmaker. I had 6 like really close female friends. And I told each and every one of them, I'll give you $10,000 if you can find me my girlfriend, my next girlfriend. And all 5 of the girls' eyes lit up except Anna. And she was like...
Because she knew the check would bounce.
Because she's like, you're too picky or whatever. But point is, I made friends with her first. And from there, that kindled the romance.
Well, you guys probably had a trust that you needed to rebuild.
Oh, yeah.
I heard something interesting from the dad of one of our friends, Brandon and I, and he said, his wife is great and all this stuff. He goes, Al, I used to date a lot of more attractive women. We think he's like, his wife's pretty good looking. He goes, I've dated so many more beautiful girls, but she's the coolest one and she's the best one. It's like you don't marry like the hottest girl you're with. You marry like the person that you
We marry the one that reach for the check.
Yes, you marry the one that reaches for the check.
So,
exactly.
All right, we're getting up to that time though, Michelle. For the guys who don't want the dad bod, who want to get in shape and look good and feel good for the girls they're dating, how can they get in touch with you? What is the best way to become their best physical selves?
I mean, are we putting this out as like a plug or like
This
just
is your
in my opinion, what's the best?
No, this is
Plug.
your selfish plug. We're plugging it. And by the
Right
way,
into the wall.
if you want to get in shape, you go see my girl Michelle.
Only Michelle.
Only Michelle. There's no other fitness coaches out there. Michelle, what do they do?
I mean, just through Instagram is great, Michelle Transforms _ that's kind of the best way. Just like very chivalrously slide in the DMs.
I hate those Michelle
In the
Transforms
DMs.
out the underscore. They're the worst.
Yeah.
Michelle
Those
Transforms.
DMs, huh?
Underscore the end.
I'm not, just be forewarned, I am not into grimy approaches.
Well, we're asking if they want
Who
to be
is?
if they want to be clients of
Yeah,
yours.
they want to use your services.
They want to use you to be their like fitness coach.
Same, Michelle Transforms _
That's just the best way. Like if I'm putting it out on like a social platform,
Yeah.
just Instagram is fine.
So
Don't
whether
reach out with a dick pic.
right, so whether you are looking to get in shape, reach out to Michelle Transforms _ or if you're looking to do a non-slimy approach and you're an in shape guy in the South California area, sure, like give it your best shot. And Michelle, we'd love to have you back and let us know if any guys reach out. And always, I will say on a personal note, every time I post a reel or content, I always love seeing your comments. It lets me know I'm doing something right.
I love giving my opinions. I get such a kick out of your content. You really like cover it all, especially the girls on the beach.
That, like I said, haven't been hurt enough. I'm like, just wait, girl. When the girl said $500 for the first date, I was like, what?
Yeah.
No, girl.
All right.
So yeah, keep it up. Thank you for all the information that you're putting out for the guys and for, I think, advocating for us women a bit. I love it all.
I tell every girl, hey, I'm out here saving away for you. I'm trying to make the world less creepy for the women out there. So I'm doing my best job.
Appreciated. It is appreciated.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks,
Take care.
Michelle.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure, you guys. Have a great night.
Bye.